I'm Vernon Kid here once again, and this time, guys, I know I forgot. Welcome, well, I should say once again, welcome, guys, to episode 3 of my comic review. And I apologize, guys, I didn't do it last week. Got a little busy, and I totally forgot. I'm only human, you know. But I'm gonna do it anyway, and I'm gonna review the comics that I had last week, that I got last week for you guys. And hope you guys watched Gabi's review. Constantly keep up with Gabi. He's the reason why I do my comic reviews now. Pretty much had a good teacher, and he taught me a lot with the way he does comic reviews. So most definitely, I thank Gabi. Thanks a lot, Gabi. So I have 11 books from last week that I got, and we're gonna start off with. We're gonna do DC first this time around. I hope you don't mind. Um, uh, Batman Beyond #6. Adam Beechin and writes this book, and Ryan Benjamin is the artist. Um, this was good. This still continues the Industrial Revolution, revolting story that's going on. Blight is back. If you are a fan of Batman Beyond, the cartoon, it's just picking up where that series left off in a way. We also get to see how Blight survived all these years and what's happened to him over the time. It's just good old Batman Beyond, seeing Terry, seeing older Bruce, and all the gang from the show. What I can tell you, what I will kind of tell you guys, is the fact that Terry and Dana have broken up now. They're they broke up. But it's still a good book. I was glad when he got a new ongoing series. But Batman Beyond #6, really good stuff. Good stuff, guys. Okay, and to continue with Flashpoint, I'm not gonna get every like tie-in to Flashpoint, but there are some that I'm intrigued about, and I will get, like this one. Flashpoint, Batman, Night of Vengeance. Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Riccio does this book. And Thomas Wayne is, like my friend Gabi said, Blue Goblin is right. Thomas Wayne as Batman is a real dick. He's a dick. He's a serious dick. And he comes off really almost like the Punisher in a way. And there's a fight between him and Croc in here, and I'm not going to spoil what happens. Well, you know what? I am going to spoil it because you guys should already have read this, but what he does to Croc in this is crazy. I will agree also with Gabi. I don't like the fact that he said that Harley Quinn and Hush and everybody like that, Poison Ivy and people like that are dead. I wish they'd have shown more of that, but they do show what he does to Croc in this. But yeah, I'm gonna read all 3 issues of this, see where this goes. But it's so far so good. The other Flashpoint story that I really enjoyed was Abin Sora, the Green Lantern, #1. This was good. We got to see more of Abin in this, and the reason, his character. I love that. I love how they did his character, why he is so passionate about preserving life now. We get a lot of things in this story, like we see the birth, like for example, the white entity that's what the Guardians send Abin to Earth to get. We get to see Atrocitus and people like that. But we also see why it's mainly about Abin. We get to see why Abin Sora is so very passionate about preserving life, and I love that. I thought this was really good. Very good. Very, very good. Flashpoint number 2. 2 out of 5. Jeff Johns, Andy Kubert. Good stuff, man. Uh, what Barry puts himself through, especially with Thomas Wayne as Batman, was crazy, But it also, guys, proved the major factor. Excuse me. Proved the major factor of the fact that Barry needs to get his powers back, and he tries to reenact the accident that gave the Flash his powers. And if you saw Gabi's preview, then you know what happened. Uh, it didn't go well. I just read that when I read that last panel and saw what happened. I'm like, God damn, Barry, what the fuck did you do? It was just like, what did you do to yourself? But this was really good. We got to see more of the other characters that have been changed in this story, in the Flashpoint history, like Wonder Woman and Deathstroke and people like that, Aquaman. So yeah, it was good. It was really good. Secret Six, number 34, Gail Simone. What can I say about this book? You know what, guys? I'm not even going to say anything about it. The only thing I'm going to do is this. That's all. Because it was good. And I blow a kiss to Miss Simone for that. There you go. Okay. Static Shock, the special. This was written by Felicia Henderson, and this was good. It was good. It was good to see a woman's take on Static, pretty much. It's pretty much a dedicated book to the late great Dwayne McDuffie. But it was really good. The story is pretty sad, especially because of what happens to one of Virgil's family members in this. But it's actually a really good book. I'm not going to spoil too much for you. If you haven't picked up Static Shock Special, pick it up. What I will tell you is that his uncle was incarcerated of a crime he didn't commit. He spent 10 years in jail. He finally gets out of jail because, the evidence proved that he wasn't convicted of the crime. And that's all I'll tell you right there. But it does end very sadly for Virgil, for the Hawking family. But Static Shock, the special, number 1, it's really good. Really good. Really good stuff. I like seeing a female's take on Static, or just a male's on a male character. I like that. Okay. Now I might get some, like, you're still reading this? Yeah. Wonder Woman, 611. JMS, Phil Hester. Yes, guys, I am still reading Wonder Woman. I'm not giving up on her. This still continues the Odyssey Siege story arc that's going on. This is part 11 of that story arc, and we see a lot of things that happen in this book, which I'm not going to spoil too much for everybody. But let's just say Diana, is fully aware of who she is and somewhat, but her and her fellow Amazons, which they've made Cheetah and Gigantor and all of them Amazons. I don't get that. But I still read this book, guys. I really still read it. And I pretty much enjoyed it for what it was. It's Wonder Woman. But I want to see where they're going to end, what they're going to do with this before the whole reboot stuff that comes along. So yeah, I'm still reading Wonder Woman, guys. I'm sorry, I'm still reading it. Okay, we'll move on. Got 4 books from Marvel. So let's get to them. So, okay. First up is of course Amazing Spider-Man 663. Pretty much Dan Slott is back, and this makes to mark the return of Anti-Venom and of course Wrath. Wrath is a character vigilante now in this book, and it's a girl, and it's basically Jean DeWolf. For all my old school Spidey fans should know who she is. This was good. I will have to agree on what my brother Blue Goblin says. You know, not just because he's a good friend and everything like that. I have to agree on what he says. Dan Slott writing of Spider-Man is just old school Spidey again that you love. You know, he doesn't make him weak, doesn't make him overly powerful, makes him just right. And the fact that Peter now is working at Horizon, at he's able now. He came up like with something cool for his web shooters now. Like he has voice activated web shooters now. Like that's pretty cool. I thought that was cool. You know that he did in there. But the story is, you know, Anti-Venom wants to kill Mr. Negative. Mr. Negative, guys, is one of my favorite characters in from the Brand New Day characters. But it's actually really good. It was really good to see. So definitely, 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 Dan Slott, you were still doing a great job with Spidey. Um, don't ever leave this title. Okay, we're gonna go off to Fear Itself, number 3, 3 out of 7, Mad Fraction, and all of them. Uh, the main shocker to me in this book was what happens to Bucky by Sin. Uh, I'm not gonna spoil it. I don't want to spoil it, guys. Even if you have read it, and for those who haven't read it, I don't want to spoil it. What happens to Bucky in this is crazy. Yes, Ben finally picks up one of the hammers, and he looks nasty because he gets like these leeches all over him, and I'm like ew, come on now. But solid issue once again of Fear Itself. But I can't wait to see what happens because Thor now is coming back to Earth. Odin let him go. Actually, Odin said, "Go ahead, try and see what you can do," but he actually let him go. So I looking forward to seeing what they do with this. The Fear Itself. Number 3. Greg Pak, Fred Van Lint brings us Herc. Number 4. And once again, guys, they do a great job with Herc. This still ties into Fear Itself. But once again, they do a great job with Herc. We see a friendship actually really develop in this between Herc and a former Avenger villain known as Grim. But it's still good, and they still do a great job with this. And if you're not reading Hercules, I suggest you give it a try. It's really good. You won't be too disappointed with it. All right, Moon Knight number 2. I'm gonna just say it like this, guys. I'm trying really hard to understand where Bendis is going with the Moon Knight character. I'm trying very hard because right now I am not liking where he's going with this. Like, he's making Moon Knight into like this schizophrenic nut, and I don't like that. But I'm gonna stay on board to see where it goes because I think issue 3 brings back Bullseye, so that's kind of cool. I want to see what they do with him. But I'm still gonna see it. If he can, Bendis and Malieve can do what they did on Daredevil, I'm gonna see. Okay, but Moon Knight 2 wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Okay, guys, that's all I have for last week's comics. I will be back with episode 4 for this week's comics. So stay tuned. This is Marvin and Kid. Y'all take it easy.